The more you give, the more you're given. And through manifestation, you're going to be given so much. But unless you learn to receive all that you're given, you're going to only receive a little bit of what you're given.
Hey, everybody, like what you see, Luxe Life with Candice Bar, or any of the Luxe Media Studios shows, make sure you subscribe and click the like below. Hey, everybody, welcome to Luxe Life. I'm your host, Candice Bar, and we are so excited today. We have David Meltzer with us. Welcome, David.
I can't imagine a more authentic welcome than that. Thank you so much. You just made my day. You gotta, some people may fake it. They're like, oh, Dave Meltzer, but that was a beautiful introduction. Thank you for having me.
Yes, that came from the inside. So, I got your book, which I love. Love this book. If you don't have this book yet, you must get this book, Connected to Goodness. David, for those living under a rock, can you please tell everyone who you are and what you do real quick?
Well, I appreciate that, but more people don't know who I am. So I always appreciate building a community and sharing with your community, by the way. I would love to send everyone right off the bat my book in your community. So if they email me, put it in the notes, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll sign a book, send it to them, pay for shipping and the book. But my story is a story of three worlds. I grew up poor, single mom. We raised 6 kids. My siblings all went to the Ivy Leagues, graduated summa cum laude, extraordinary people. I wanted to be rich and I wanted to buy my mom a house. And through a journey from the world of not enough, punished by my circumstances, I entered the world of being a millionaire, of more than enough, and thought that I understood my relationship with money, that the more you give, the more you receive. And I thought that money was the tool that brought me the happiness in my life and brought me the love that I had in my life with my family. I married my dream girl from the 4th grade, my community. But after surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas, I went into a terrible spiral and I ended up in a zero sum game because I didn't understand the relationship of giving and receiving. And I lost everything. I went to zero. And through taking stock in my values, daily practices, and an execution model, which I discuss in Connected to Goodness, I was able to shift the paradigm, the genetic and energetic inheritance of scarcity, and to shift into abundance with the belief that I am, not this is what I want people to think I am. And I've been able to recover, make more money, help more people, and have more fun by living in a world of not enough, not just enough, buying things I didn't need to impress people I didn't like, but this unbelievable world that supports my mission of empowering over 1 billion people to make a lot of money, help a lot of people have a lot of fun, to empower over 1 billion people to be happy, to live with me in the world of more than enough of everything for everyone.
I love that so much. I wrote a book also called, I'm going to send it to you, called Believing Before Seeing. And it also talks about how to use manifestation, visualization, really feeling into it for your life and business. So that's why I want to speak to you, because we speak the same language. And I wanted to see who taught you the world of manifesting energy and all of that, because clearly that's what you run on.
I certainly do. And I was introduced to that world by my Aunt Marilyn, who chanted every day, was I called a Judah Buddha. And she introduced it to me. And then my wife, in exchange for her not leaving me, shoved it down my throat. And then I met a guru, a master in quantum healing and theta meditation, who started to evolve the skills knowledge to align with the desire. She fooled me or tricked me into manifestation and meditation. She actually somehow reconciled meditation with awareness. And I wasn't interested in learning it until she said, the people that are most aware know when to buy or sell, Dave. So in essence, I could teach you through manifestation and meditation when to buy and when to sell. And that's what initially stimulated my interest into this journey, which is now much more abundant and enlightened than just trying to make more money by buying things low and selling things high.
Well, she's a very smart sales lady. Very smart sales
Yes.
lady. She knew she knew the client. She knew the client. Because you can actually tell in your energy, you can tell that you're not only financially abundant and spiritually abundant, but you can tell that you run on that playing field. And I love that. That's You're not just talking about it, you're not just BSing. There's a lot of people out there talking about things that they don't really do or they don't really know. And you're not one of them.
I had to learn that. So
Yeah.
in order to be someone that isn't one of them, I had to be someone that was one of them. And I think in my understanding and illumination, as hard as it is to be humble, to tell people, hey, I was a major F up. I lost everything, over $100 million. I wasn't a particularly great husband, even though I have the best wife in the world. And thank goodness that forgiveness is one of the fundamental values that she has. But so is gratitude of my own, and accountability and inspiration. Those things have always been with me. And so to live my life at ease, to identify what puts me at dis-ease, to shift the paradigm of I am. But I will tell you, Candice, one of the most recent things that I've been working on is my ability to articulate a major advancement in how people manifest. And there's this mathematical equation that most people live under, which is the more I give, the more I receive. And I've had so many challenges in explaining to people, why am I giving everything, including my mom? Why did I give everything in my life, but I have nothing? If the more I give and the more I receive, why is it I end up with nothing? And so many people I know that are so giving, kind, and wonderful end up with nothing. And I realized that part of manifestation is not just focusing our attention on what we want, giving it our intention of doing, saying, thinking, feeling, believing, like your book talks about, and to get the coincidences, the coinciding of the universe. But there's a key component that's left out of so much of manifestation. And here's what I've learned, and it starts with some religious texts that I've actually read. It's not just the more I give, the more I receive. What it actually is the more I give or ask or pray or manifest, the more I will be given. But
Mhm.
where most people fall down and end up in a zero sum game is that they haven't learned in the process of manifesting that you also have to allow and
Yeah.
receive what you're
Yes.
given. So
Yes.
here's the formula I see people fall into. And my mom is, my hero and the most relative person in my life. I can barely talk about her without crying because she means that much to me, like my wife. But my mom, she gave everything to everyone, to her children, her community, the Sunday school, the principal of the school, the community, the women's libers. That when my mom started being a mom, she couldn't even apply for a credit card when she was divorced. They didn't allow women to have credit. And she
Wow.
worked so hard to provide opportunities for my three daughters who are
Mm,
24, 22, and 19. But here's
mm,
the formula. The more you give, the more you're given. And through manifestation, you're going to be given so much. But
mhm.
unless you learn to receive all that you're given, you're going to only receive a little bit of what you're given. So, although the more you give, the more you could receive, if you don't
Yeah.
receive, you're then given less. And as you're given less and less and less, pretty soon you end up with goose eggs instead of the
Yes.
people that live in the manifestation of a unified system, abundant of thought and belief and feeling. We then give more, we're
Mhm,
given more, we
mhm.
receive more, we manifest more. Now we give more and more, we're given more and more, we receive more and the more and more keep going. And we live in this infinite, abundant, unified system of thought that
Yes.
allows us to clear the interference of any disease between us and our potential of what we want, not what other people want, not what's missing, not what we don't have.
Because we're here to create, we're creators. I am is what runs to me and through me. So that's why the number 8 is so important. As you were saying, give, receive, it has to go in a flow. It's in all divine order. And once you step out of that order is when you're either not receiving or you're not giving. But you have to step back in the order, get back in the place to get into that flow of things, good things. The more you have, the more you can create. Money is to create cool, big things.
Look behind me. That's real. It
There
definitely
you go.
does because this is super cool. I think also within the co-creation process and manifestation process is our ability also to have divine direction. You see, there's a distance of resistance between the behavior and the consequences, coincidence, outcomes, and results. And we need wisdom and faith in order to shorten that distance. And so many times, and that's why I think my story resonates with so many people, because they can't understand how losing over $100 million, going bankrupt, almost giving up my wife and my life could actually be a divine direction into changing the world and empowering over 1 billion people to be happy. I am protected, promoted, and loved by the divine and the divine direction, even though as a human being, I'm incapable of understanding or knowing how a result, a consequence, a coincidence, like losing over $100 million and going bankrupt could be a form of love, promotion, and protection, not punishment.
Totally. Because what did you learn? Everyone might, a lot of people, if that happened to them, they would have a different, they would, I don't know what they don't deal with it well. Let's just say that. What did you learn through that? What did you learn through that process to where you are now? Like that information and that knowledge from that experience, though I'm sure very, very painful, very, very tough from to now, the knowledge is invaluable.
Yeah, the reconciliation of what I learned of, hey, you have so many tools, this ferocious behavior I've always enjoyed the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential, but I thought I was in control. And
Yeah.
so, although I had great discipline and effort and hopefully intelligence, intuition, and inspiration in my life, I thought I was in control. So I was constantly seeking more health, more happiness, more wealth, more worthiness with me driving.
Yeah.
Instead, I am healthy. I am happy. I am wealthy. What am I doing to interfere with it? This shift in the paradigm in the process of the divine direction in which my life lives, seeking the wisdom to gain enlightenment, to light the way. I study the Tao, which means the way, and
Yeah.
I illuminate the way by taking away the particles of darkness. I'll tell you, just on social media alone, and blessed to have such a big community there, I tell people all the time, the negativity is loud, but it's weak. So liberate the light, because one particle of your light will overcome 1 million of particles of darkness that are loud, but they're so weak. Let's focus in on I am, not what I think or want people to think I am.
Absolutely, 1,000,000%. I wanted to ask, especially you, this question. What are your thoughts on the popular phrase, or for some people, popular thinking, fake it till you make it?
This is so funny. I just did a conversation, and I'm blessed to be going on tour with Dane Cook, a comedian.
Mhm.
And in the comedy world, in the entertainment world, he's been in some pretty big movies as well. He talked about fake it till you make it. My thoughts about fake it till you make it is, if you're faking it, then the people that resonate with you in that frequency are going to be fakers. And
Completely.
so I believe that I am, and that I will be at my essence, which I utilize my skills, my knowledge, and my desire to define my essence. And so the more that I, uh, let's say, project who I am, not what, I'm faking it of I want to be, the more I'll attract people who I am. I have a very strong community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. Why? Because that's who I am.
Yeah,
That's who I
absolutely.
am. And I don't shy away from it. I don't shy away from the mistakes that I made. And I don't shy away from who I am. And I will not fake it. And I am human. I spend minutes and moments in fear 8 times a day, but it beats spending days, weeks, months, and years reacting to fear in an accelerated direction, in the wrong direction, not the divine direction.
Believing Before Seeing, a new bestseller by Candice Bar. Order your copy today.
I love it. Yes, David. Yes, preach. Yes. I
I
want
love it.
to bring someone up really quickly. It's funny that we have a, do you know Ben Press?
Very well. He's my agent for my TV show and my podcast, and yeah, know him very well, and a close friend and a dear person in my life.
So I had met him through my friend Emmanuel Kelly about a year ago. And then we've always stayed connected. And then he had posted he went to your Dane Cook thing. And I said, oh, I almost went to that, but I had to go to New York for something. And he said, tell him that you know Ben. Are you someone that sets New Year's goals or intentions, or do you think that's all fluff?
Well, I live my goals, my intentions every day. I have 5 daily practices and a trajectory of where I want to be. So I align the meaning of my past, which is the quantitative analysis. I align the meaning of the setbacks, failures, mistakes, voids, shortages, obstacles, defining moments, historical relevances with where I think I want to be in the future, but focus my attention and intention of what I do, say, think, feel, and believe each day towards a trajectory of where I think I want to be in the future. So when I come upon a milestone like my birthday last week when I turned 56, or New
Happy
Year's
birthday.
Day, thank you, or New Year's Day, I use that as a quantitative measurement, time being a dependent variable in my life, to quantify and measure the progress that I made. And why is that important? Because just like we were saying that human beings don't have a capability or a knowing of how and what outcomes are when they present themselves. We can't know what these divine directions are. Some things appear to be seriously punishing that are the unbelievable promotions of our life. The same thing holds true with progress. We remember that good behavior creates one instant result. It's called good progress. And so I use New Year's and my birthday and Valentine's Day and July 4th to utilize time as a dependent variable to measure progress, to see, have I improved? Because it's the progress, not the perfection in my life, that allows me to stay consistent and persistent in the pursuit of my potential in my life, my higher self, my Christ life self, whatever definition or label you want to give to your shampoo is fine with me.
What is, I know you have one. What is your morning practice?
Yeah, I'm very disciplined in the morning, especially. So I have a unwinding routine. So my morning starts at 9 p.m. by unwinding, putting myself in a position of recovery and access. I have a sleep coach for over 17 years that helps facilitate the recovery and access that I want when I sleep. So I joke around and say my morning starts at 9 p.m. when I put myself in a mindset, heart set, and handset to recover and access by 4 a.m. I then wake up and meditate, including some prayers like, may God put at least 10 people in front of me that I can help each day. And may he put at least 10 people in front of me that I can help as well. And then I use theta meditation to then, after the meditation, get ready. And I spend a minimum of an hour on my health every day, 4:30 a.m. And then at 5:30, I do research till 6:30, 6:30 to 7:30 with my family. 7:30 till 8 o'clock, study my calendar. 8 o'clock, start interviews and the activities that I have planned, unplanned, paid, unpaid for the day. But I would encourage people when it comes to these disciplines, rituals, habits, etc., routines, that you start by having a non-negotiable routine. So for me, 7 hours of sleep is non-negotiable. I have a period of time that adds up to about 3 hours of non-negotiable family time, health time, which I call fitness time, faith time, finance time. And so when you look at my day, I have 10 hours of non-negotiable time every single day that will not, without exception, get done, which includes 7 hours of sleep, which I want to
Yeah.
be in the Sleep Hall of Fame. I want to be known as the best sleeper in the world and prove to people that if you focus in on your sleep and you're the best at it, everything else will take care of itself. But more
Sleep is
importantly,
everything.
sleep is
And
everything.
it's
And
underrated, and the American diet and the American what they have fed into, everything is incorrect.
I'm with you. And that's why I'm here to encourage people to listen to you, Candice, because you are now preaching my truth.
Well, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on hustle culture? Because it's a thing and people are
Yeah.
working themselves into the ground and you don't need to.
No, no, but what you do need to do, and I have some really close friends, entrepreneurs that have created the hustle culture. They branded themselves the hustle culture. Um, and my philosophy, I'm a ferocious Buddha, right? I hustle, try to keep up with me in a day, but I am
Right.
so Buddhist. I have detached my emotions from any outcome. So what my belief is, what hustle means to me, and I always say, shampoos are the only place for labels. So label your shampoo whatever you want. I've labeled my hustle as three things. Am I doing my best? Am I learning lessons? And am I having fun? And
Sure.
for me, that's the definition of hustle. So I'm creating a hustle culture of people that are going to do their best at vacationing, at eating, at spending time with their family, at sleeping, and at activity they get paid for. But I hold myself to a standard. Am I doing my best? Am I learning everyday lessons? Am I expanding in conjunction and synergistic to the universe? And am I able to extract the light and love and have fun in everything I do? Because I know if I can learn to enjoy everything and I do it consistently and I do it without quit, life's going to tell me all its secrets. It's going to give me its cheat codes. I'm going to level up so far, far beyond the people that are so busy working that they forget to make money.
Totally. I love that. I want to ask you this too. Are you someone, I have a feeling I know the answer, but are you someone, does the phone sleep next to you?
So the phone is next to me, but it is not used for 7 hours.
Okay.
The only reason it's next to me is that I have three daughters
Yeah.
that don't live with me that are 24, 22, and 19. And I value their safety over, but I will not check my mail or email or go on. It just sits there and it is private to everyone but my three daughters
Mm.
or any family member that would go on if my wife's on vacation. So the only reason you're going to interrupt my 7 hours of recovery and access is for an exigent circumstance of someone that's very relative in my life. And luckily, you may not even know this about your phone. You can put do not disturb except for one person if you wanted. So
Hmm.
I learned because I have a beautiful studio at the Wynn, in the lobby of the Wynn. And I used to keep my phone next to me and not put on do not disturb. And I have a
Mm.
whole bunch of friends from my past life, the people that I surrounded myself with and the ideas that I surrounded myself with that caused me to have an energy or a frequency of loss or zero sum scarcity
Mm.
that will be wasted at 2 a.m. and somehow think that I don't know that I have a billboard in a studio at the Wynn and they would wake me. So I've learned to protect myself from the blue light. I protected myself from the negative energy and interference that is
Yeah.
utilized in a phone, but I still need the access to make sure that my three daughters are safe and sound, which makes me recover more and access more without any interference.
I absolutely love it. David, I could talk to you all day long. I'm actually going to have you back on the show because I have so much more to say and ask. I have two questions for you. One question is, what book are you reading right now?
I'm reading Einstein.
Mm.
I do audiobooks. So I read Course in Miracles every day. I read Think and Grow Rich every day. I
Okay.
read something by Wayne Dyer every day. But
Yes.
then I have a mainstay in my research time. And I'm reading about Einstein right now because I've been studying time, relativity, coming up with different philosophies of a paradigm of who feeds and bleeds you, who's most relative to you, and what's your relativity or association with those people in order to effectuate spending your time with the people that are most relative, associated, and feed you the most, and be able to balance that. So Einstein, people like that are mentors, and it's a fabulous book to read. It's called Einstein. Drawing a blank on the author, but it's amazing.
I will get that because I love reading.
Awesome. And I want to ask you a quick question before I leave.
Yes.
Promise me you'll come on my shows. I have so many TV shows and digital shows and podcasts, and we have more platforms.
To go to
I'd love to,
Vegas in your studio and do a show. I'll be there.
or here if you're in LA. This is a big studio as well. So either place, we'd love to have you. But
One more question. Do you listen or are a student of Abraham or Esther Hicks?
absolutely. My
Okay.
first book published by Hay House. Love them. I got to see with Wayne Dyer years ago at the I Can Do It Summit.
Oh my God,
Amazing. But I spent
love
lots of
that.
times with the Hay House crowd.
Oh, I love that. All right, David, thank you. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for listening and watching. And we will see you all again next week. Bye, everybody.